Hi, it's JC Brown from SMP-RV with another walkthrough. Today we're going to look at the 2026 Forest River Surveyor Legend 252 RBS. Really cool floor plan. It gives you a lot of different things in a smaller unit. We had this unit in a Freedom Express at one time, this floor plan, and it was very popular. So we're excited to have it back in the Surveyor. Along with me today, Christian.
Hello again.
Perfect. Right. So take us away.
All right, so we'll be going through this very similar like the last one. A lot of similarities here. Forest River has done a lot of changes across their entire platform coming over the last couple of years, but especially seeing a strong change this year. So you may see some similarities from the last video, and if not, well, we'll touch on what this one's got over here. So starting with the front, as we usually do, you do have the 20-inch front electric tongue. Goes up and down, nice, no more manual cranking. You do have something I forgot to mention in the last one. You do have a manual override should something happen, you know, blow a fuse or whatever the case might be. It's just right up here. You just flip this plastic part, crank it, off you get.
I would say most of everything we have a manual override. So
that's right.
I don't know of anything that doesn't. So I won't say all, but I'm pretty sure almost everything does. Yeah.
Yeah, most do. And coming with this guy here, you got two 20-pounders on this this unit over here. Same sort of system where it has the quick connect. You have the little screws here that you tighten and unloosen and just pop the cap open, and you have quick access for your either shutting it off or opening them up. The
Perfect.
Valves. On the side here, you got something a little bit different. You got a little hook here to help hold the cables. You have your disconnect, and then this is something newer to me anyways. I haven't seen this before, but this has to do with your tire pressure monitoring system. So
yeah, it's a different system. We have tire pressure monitor on other units, but this is a different system. Yeah. So a new one on this one, and it comes with a little kit inside to pair it to your vehicle, so you know how everything's going with your tires and stuff.
Yep. Yep. And at SMP here, we do the walkthrough. We do include a walkthrough, which we do go through that in further detail. But nonetheless, you got the nice logo here, the light up logo, which they seem to be doing on a lot of their units here. Nice little touch. You don't have to have it on. It's not like it automatically turns on. There is a switch in the pass through where you can have it on or off depending on what the occasion might be. Automotive glass on the front end here, again, something we're starting to see more and more common. I do get a lot of people asking me about protecting these, right? There are resources out there, different Facebook groups, companies out there that'll sell a cover of some sort. I'm sure your local dealership could probably help you track one down. Yeah,
there's some brands that have some magnetic covers to go on those, so to help you protect against rock chips and stuff like that. And you can actually just put in the floor plan, the brand and everything, and it'll actually tell you the size and how much it is right online, so it's cool. We're starting to see branding being a little, in the last couple of years, changing for Forest River. So that new logo, the FR logo, we're starting to see more and more being out in front with all their products and stuff, and even like Keystone, we're seeing it as well. They're doing a similar thing.
Yeah. So nice little cool addition there. I get a lot of people asking about that, so there you go. Coming on this side here, again, similar, big pass through, big access coming through. You have motion lights on the front. Here you got motion lights kind of all over the place. It's a lot brighter as well with this particular model compared to maybe some of the other ones out there. They do include little bits here, again, if you want to throw it on your drill and get to the
your stabilizer jacks. They're nice. They include that and stuff. A lot of people do that, bring their drill with them, cordless drill, easy to put them up and down, which is nice.
Exactly.
You got a tire cover in there, your power cord, your manual cranks and all that sort of stuff, and lots of room for like coolers and chairs and things like that.
You also do have USB-C and USB, regular USB. I can't remember if it's A or B or whatever, but you do have plugins over there as well, and it goes right through the other side, so you do have access as well. So we'll come on down this way here. You do have a huge electric awning. Electric awning's been around now for quite a bit. They're pretty much standard on almost everything, but you do have the nice LED strip that goes underneath. Again, something you can manually turn on and off in case maybe it's too overpowering at nighttime, you're too close to your neighbors, whatever the case might be. You have that as an option. It goes out quite a bit, and it's pretty much the whole length side of the trailer. So
it nicely covers everything again, like
nice and nice.
Get everything underneath the awning, all your cooking stuff, fridge and all that
Yep.
stuff for this unit.
Yep.
Solid step again, which is nice.
Yep. Again, I've said this in the last video, and I always stand by this. It's just a personal preference of mine. I love these steps so much. They're nice and sturdy coming up. As you can see, no wobbling. We don't have the stabs down, so we don't have the trailer shaking. Even if when you have the regular steps, anyways, those fold out ones.
Yeah.
Pros and cons to them. Pros, super stable. Coming in and out, somebody with mobility. Cons, you do need this much clearance next to you in order to get in.
And you should sweep them out before you
Yes.
put them in, because they're going to put dirt right in your unit.
Yeah. Most of you are packing brooms, little dustpans. So just sweep, go in. Or if you want to live on the edge, swing it in there. Just watch for the rocks that may go underneath the slide. That's a pretty important one.
Exactly.
The legs are adjustable, so you can adjust them. There's a little lever here which you touch, a little awkward with one hand, but you can come in and out, which is, again, something pretty cool. Put this one back down. So nice and easy, quick to adjust. And they just kind of go in. I guess this is something I should showcase. I didn't showcase last time, but you just lift them up, and they come right here, and they sit right in the frame here. So it gets pinched by the door and holds it in place. Then you have a lever here to unlatch it and then bring it back out forward.
Nice and easy. Nice handle there if you need it.
Nice
as Christian is bringing that down, he's got to bring out his extra large grab handle, which is a nice on this unit.
That's right. What I really like about these ones, again, something a lot more common these days, you can rotate them whichever way. Some people like to have them facing this way against the door to kind of hold it in place. I think it might be recommended, but nonetheless, you do have that. Nice big sturdy handle coming through as opposed to smaller ones.
And right next, you can see that this unit has 400 watts of solar.
Yep. Yeah. Something we're starting to see a lot more common is solar. 400 is a bit more luxury. It's a bit more grand. Usually it's about a 200 watt that comes standard with most units nowadays, but nonetheless, this one comes with 400.
Great to pair with the 12-volt fridge.
Yes, something we'll take a look when we get inside.
Yeah.
Looking at the tires here, we got Goodyear tires, so you definitely have something a little more sturdy, right, than some of the, let's call them no-name brands.
Yeah.
Goodyear's good reputation, good tires. You do have a TPS, so a tire pressure monitoring system as well on all 4 tires. That's something that you can reference the manual or the, your salesperson at the time.
Yeah.
You can kind of go over it. You do have your cable connections outside here, so you have your power, something you'll see, again, pretty standard, and then your cable/satellite. If you got hookups up here in Canada, a little more northern Canada, we don't have very much of that. We have Starlink though.
That's right.
Outdoor kitchen here, you have your usual setup, which is going to be the grill, right? And then a nice little sink here. Now this is completely removable, so you can take it out, wash it, you can use whatever.
Yeah, if you're doing some dishes or something there, because it's nice they put again on this unit, we talked about it on our last video, but they got the cold and warm water there, and the sprayer, so you can just put the water right in your basin here, or you can put a sprayer on there, whatever you want.
It's got good reach too. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah, great for kids, or you when you get back from the beach, getting the sand off your feet and stuff. You can step away from the trailer. Got a little fridge here, which is nice as well.
Nosy neighbors, run to them, spray them.
That's right,
have fun with it.
The dog.
You do have a little cooler out here, something you see pretty common. Something just to note about these fridges, I'm going to say pretty much most of the time. There are a few exceptions out there, very few exceptions, but you need an actual power source to have this working. So again, up where we're at, we don't have a lot of hookup sites, so these end up being kind of useless. Not so much useless, but you just can't use them unless you have a generator and you have it all day, which most people don't, right?
Yeah, they're not 12 volt like the inside fridge.
Exactly, exactly. You can get crafty, but that's a whole nother subject. But you still have a cool 12 fridge here, which is pretty nice nonetheless. Again, if you do dry camping, take it out. You got space for a cooler. Pretty versatile. Good beer fridge. I keep it at home by my computer. So coming over to the backside here, and this is something I mentioned in the last video and something I will probably continue mentioning going forward. There are people that don't know this, but the bumper on the back is an opening here. It does have, when it's, oh my God, this thing is on good. All right, Heidi, this is when you come in and you edit this.
2 hours later.
I did have one particular customer. One time, she told me she kept her sewage hose, her sewer hose, in a Tupperware or like one of those totes underneath the pass-through of her bed.
Okay.
Now, it's a luxury to have. This is where you keep your sewer hose. You put it right in here. They do come with caps. They are breathable. They got holes on them so you can vent them out as well. But this is ideally where you want to keep it, right over here. So something just to keep in mind. You don't want to keep it in your pass-through if you can avoid it. So continuing on the back here, the spare tire, that varies depending on product, whether it's on the back here, underneath the frame in the front, underneath the trailer, but you got it on this one on the back. Backup camera prepped, something again we're starting to see super common in a lot of trailers, but this one's got a backup camera prepped along with the ladder. And
the lippered ladder, yeah, and we have one right over here.
Yeah, we didn't showcase this last time, but this is kind of what they look like, right over here. So they are small and compact. Right now, this is a compact. Otherwise, it stretches all the way to that almost 13-foot mark, right?
Yeah, 12.6, 12.5 feet, which is nice. Yeah, it gives you lots of ability to get up there. Yeah. This attaches nicely on there, and you can put it under the bed or storage or anything like that.
Yeah, pretty nice. Keep people off the roof when you don't want them on.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So it's pretty easy to connect to. You got 2 little hooks there, just hooks on there, and up you get. So coming back on the other side, you do have the other end here for the storage for the sewer. Both caps come off. On the back end, pretty common setup here. You have your shore power connection, motion light for nighttime, right? Just to give you a little more light if you want to mess around with your levers, to empty out your tanks. Cable hookup, city water, and then your black tank flush. Again, something pretty standard on the back end of trailers, but does vary a little bit. Coming around this side, this is where you're going to have your freshwater connection, some more drain points right here. Usually you can find them, they're just going to be labeled somewhere, whether it's fresh, your black, your gray, so on and so forth. And then your hot water on demand.
Nice. Like we mentioned before, definitely more common now, and we're seeing in more and more units, the on-demand system.
Yeah, totally. Now for the fun part. Well, I guess just before the fun part. The pass-through here, this is the other side of it. Now, similar to the last one we mentioned, it is a lot smaller on this side, only because you're going to have a lot more of your system, let's call it over here.
Your hot water system, yeah, that's right there. Yeah.
Your freshwater tank, your plumbing, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of why you get a little more narrow of an entryway on here, but on the other side, you do have the huge one, and it's still a complete pass-through. So
and motion lights we saw come on there, so motion lights on both sides, which is really nice.
Yeah. All right, fun part. We're gonna go take a look on the inside. Come on up here, JC. So we're gonna start from the back, work our way to the front. I know that you're really excited about this part here, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's show you the bathroom back here. So the bathroom, this being an RB, generally standing for rear bathroom, you're gonna have, well, your bathroom in the back. So usually it's gonna be quite a big wall-to-wall. You can kind of see here. The benefits to having a wall-to-wall is you're going to have a lot more room to work with. I myself, I am 6'2", and without the shoes, and with the shoes, stepping in the shower here, I got a lot of space.
Yeah, you don't even have you don't even have to go into the skylight on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, a little more room on this one here, standing in there, so you got a little bit, just a little more comfortable. Now you do have the slide on this one is not going to be the glass stuff, which I personally like. Gives you a little more room to kind of hit it if you need it, right? Come on through. So coming out, you do have lots of space here for the toilet for starters, right? Nice thing here. Again, long legs here, still lots of room through, so I can comfortably sit and, well, do my business.
The pocket door right here gives you a lot of room and doesn't take up a lot of space. Like you've seen some units that'll have like a swinging door there.
Yeah, not a big fan myself of the swinging door. I'm a big fan of the sliding ones. So you got storage here, right? Again, you're gonna have plumbing. Well, usually when you see these kind of like dummy walls here, it's because there's some sort of plumbing behind it, whether it's a water, like a pump of some sort or whichever.
We got some of the all your switches and stuff and power outlets are in here in the bathroom in this one. See that a little more in some units now in the bathroom.
Yep. You do have your this particular unit, and I'm pretty sure it's standard across the board with the Surveyors. You do have heat. You have an enclosed heated tank, forced air, that kind of usual system. But on top of that, you also have heated tanks. You got heat pads on the tanks,
which is nice. A lot of people like that for the shoulder seasons in the north. And you know, we get,
Especially us.
yeah, especially in the summer. Some places you go in the north here, you'll get below zero in June.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold up here. You do have your monitoring system for your tanks, whether how full they are, or empty, vice versa. As JC pointed out, you got your plugs here and then your controls for the fans. Nice thing with this one in the bathroom, you do have an electric fan with a lot of settings here, which is pretty cool. You got towel racks here. I know this is quite heavily loved. Loved, and usually by the miss especially, because you can, for me, I like to put on my robes. I like to go fancy camping. But yeah, you got hooks here. There's more space around if you want to add some more. And you got huge, deep pockets. I'll get you to come in here, JC, to show. Lots of room for the two of us.
one thing I'll point out is it's a wardrobe in here, but when you have a rear bathroom, you'll get a lot of, you get a lot more storage. The bathroom will be bigger, more residential style instead of like a corner bathroom you'll see in a lot of units. So having this storage and stuff comes hand in hand with being a rear bath unit. So it gives you tons of storage and a lot more room in the bathroom for a lot of stuff, and you yourself being comfortable in the bathroom as well, right? So,
Totally.
I want to point out while we're here, because we went back last time, the vents.
Yeah.
So the heat system and stuff, it'll blow nice warm air on your feet when you're brushing your teeth and stuff in the morning, or you're in the shower, you're getting out, you don't be cold. And I think I saw one behind you there, on the side there. Did I see one?
Nope, not on this one here. Yeah, this is the only one in the bathroom, and the intent is to keep your feet warm when you come out of the shower.
Oh, the roof is where I saw one. I knew I saw one.
Yeah.
There's one up there as well. I knew I saw one somewhere. Yeah, so we got one there, and we got, looks like two down there.
We also have a motion light, which is super nice too for the bathroom. So you don't want to turn it on and either wake anybody up, especially if you have guests sleeping on the dinette there or on the floor, depending on how you party. You do have a little motion light that'll turn on the lights here.
You got quite a bit of room on that toilet.
I
eh?
do.
Yeah, it's actually good space.
It's quite comfortable. So, as soon as you step out here, you do have the sliding door to section it off, but you have two really cool features. I mentioned this before. I personally am a big fan of the 12-volt fridges, especially when you have the appropriate accessories to back it up, right? And that means the solar and batteries. But again, that's something you can talk to with your rack. 12-volt fridges here. I believe this particular one is 10 cubic foot. You can kind of see how massive and how deep that fridge is. It's got a couple things going for it. So firstly, it not being a two-way, you save a lot of space, especially depth, because you don't have the compressor in there taking up all that space. The other really big cool feature is that these will go from room temperature to freezing in about 40 to 60 minutes. So massive improvement compared to the old stuff.
And they're not vented to the outside, so you don't need to have a hole in your unit to air to the outside. As well as you can run them while you're driving. You're not supposed to run the propane ones while you're driving, and these ones you can. So a lot of big benefits there. And they're, like Christian mentioned, nice and big fridges as well.
Yeah, huge. Especially the freezer. There's tons of space in here, which is really nice.
Usually they're fairly small, yeah.
So overall, big fan of these ones. You know, like I mentioned in the last video, you do have that bit of a divide. Some people prefer the two-way. Some people are okay to the new changes. Soon here, you won't have a choice, but for now, there are a couple out there that still do two ways. Now, coming through here, this is super cool. A little storage. I'll see you guys later. Right, lots of room in here. I can go in here.
That's a nice pantry. Let me just have a look at it.
And pop out.
Everyone saw it. There's another robe hanging for Christian, so he can bring all his robes on this one. Yeah. And then you got motion light in here, so that came on when you went in.
Yep. Yeah, super cool. Lots and lots of storage. I get always people asking about pantry or some sort of huge closet here, because this is a lot of stuff to pack food. Right? You're not going to pack this much food unless you're going off for a very, very long time. But unless most of the time you're going to drive to the local store and like restock. So the cool thing with this, you can put all sorts of stuff. It's nice and deep. It's basically this whole entire depth here, right? While giving you, again, hooks and shelves and that kind of stuff. So it's super, super cool. I'm a big fan of that. So right in front of there is going to be your entertainment. You're going to have your electric fireplace, which is going to pump out some really good heat.
You don't need. Great thing with these, we tell lots of people that you don't want to put your furnace on.
Yep.
Don't need to. You turn that on, it'll actually warm the unit fairly well. Especially a unit this size, it's not very big. So
we actually use these during our the expo show that we have, where it's in a giant ice rink, so it gets a little chilly in there. So we'll turn these on and maybe sit a little bit. So it kind of depends on traffic flow, but really cool. Does a sufficient job for more than insufficient. It does a great job to keep the place warm. It's not a replacement for an entire house warmer, but it just gives that extra oomph.
For sure, take the chill off. Nice finish you're seeing on there. Hey, I like that. And then also a little bit more storage in there too, which is nice.
Yeah.
They do a good job. Surveyor does a really good job.
I can't open it just because of the slide.
We're
not out all the way with this one just because of the space here, but you do have a deep pocket in there. You also have here lots of space on the inside here. You're going to have a nice countertop as well. There you go.
There we go.
Now we can open it. See?
Just like that. Just
push
a button and we're there. Hey,
easy peasy. Exactly. The beauty of electric.
Yeah.
You got your TV out here. Now the TV system, just to confirm, I'm not sure if this one is a swivel. I can't really see. It's a little dark there. But nonetheless, even if it isn't, it's something you can definitely change if you want to. But it's nice. They do have the TV that comes with the trailers. Not all of them do, especially during COVID. If you were looking at that time, there was a chip shortage and all that fun stuff. So now we're starting to see TVs with the trailer. And yes,
in most units, yeah.
If it's in it, it's included.
Yeah.
All right. Coming over to the kitchen here. Sorry, I was about to go the other way. You're going to have a pretty standard kitchen setup here. Now, it being a rear bathroom, there's always going to be compromises no matter which way you go. If you have a rear kitchen, like our last video, really recommend it. You can check it up above or in the link in the description. It'll be for the unmapped version. No matter which way you go, you're compromising on something. For a bathroom, you have tons of bathroom space. You give up a little bit on counter space. But what they've done, which is really cool, is they added a flush cutting board, so you have more prepping area if you wanted to. But nonetheless, it's pretty sufficient room. I would be pretty happy with this. You got a 3-top burner with this. Do not cook on this glass. You fold it. I've had that happen before. You fold it over, then you got a 3-top burner over here,
which is nice. You're seeing some brands go to 2 now. So to create more counter space, but I still think with the glass top, it still gives you good counter space there as well.
Yeah, massive.
And this one's actually got an oven, which some people still look for.
Yep.
Which is a nice accessory to have and stuff. I think people really like that. Still, some people look for that in units.
We are getting a lot of units swapping to that, in place of doing the convection microwave. But here you still have the classic setup. You got the 3-top burner, the oven. It looks pretty big in size. So you got enough room in here to put your cookies, lasagna, or whatever you want. Maybe not a turkey, but everything else probably. You got your microwave. You might be familiar with this, but again, if not, microwave, AC, outdoor fridges, that kind of stuff. You do need a dedicated power source for that to work. But nonetheless, it is here. Up here, we usually take these out just for more storage. Not we, but the customer requests it
from time to time.
Space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lots of space up top here as well for your spices or whatever you like. Tons of cupboard space coming throughout the whole trailer here.
Which is
you can kind of see right through. Right.
Lots of storage.
Lots and lots, and down below as well. You can kind of see through the whole thing here.
Great.
That's lots of storage.
And you got another Forest River product with vacuum.
Central vac.
Central vac, yeah.
Yep, super cool. Again, something you can do if you can sweep everything up to somewhere around this point, flip this lid here, and then just sweep it out. You do have a connection here for the hose itself if you want to do that as well. It's quite flexible in terms of how you want to use it. I really like that feature. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but nonetheless, it's there.
So the Surveyor is a sister product of the R-Pod. A lot of same designers and stuff like that. So you see a lot of similarities with the R-Pod Unmapped and the Surveyors. This one, the Surveyor, there's little subtle differences, like the oven's a little different. The sink is different. Do you want to lift that up there for me, Christian? It's more of a traditional looking sink where it's rounder in the R-Pods and also the Unmapped. Also different cutting board, but they still have the place behind the oven where you can hang the cutting board and get it out of your way for a bit while you do dishes or that sort of thing, or clean up after. So that's also great. Similar tap there. You got the sprayer. I think they call it a 3-in-1, I think.
Yeah, so you're going to have the spout here on this side. You have the rotating here, which turns into a bit of a sprinkler system.
And you can pull it off, yeah.
It does extend, so you can, hit somebody sitting on the dinette.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Speaking of
the dinette, this is the dinette. Nice, lots of space through and through, right? As I've mentioned, I got quite long legs, so I can sit quite comfortably here, and enough space for me and the person in front. You do have storage on both sides here, accessible from underneath the seat, along with the swing out door here, which is super cool. Dinette's pretty much universally now. I don't think I've seen one that doesn't offer this option, but they do all turn into beds. A good telltale sign is going to be over here. You see these little knobs, whether it might be a little bit of a crevice for the wood or the plastic knobs themselves. That's where the desk falls down and turns.
It's a nice size dinette for a unit like this size and stuff like that too.
This window.
Yeah, exactly. Nice big window, and also you got the
blackout blinds.
Blackout blinds,
yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah, lots of space through, or lots of light, just lots of light that can come in here. It's really nice. It's quite comfortable. The windows on the side here and here do open if you want to get a cross breeze or just some fresh air. It does have bug nets, so you'll be fine. The big one itself does not.
Lots of people love this floor plan because you get your dinette and your theater seating. A big guy like Christian, he likes to relax. He likes to kick his feet back every now and then. You can see actually behind him as well that I find that Surveyor does a really good job with decor in the units. So yeah, they got signs up, like warm, homey feeling kind of signs and stuff, and their colors are very warm and homey. So as well as they do a good job of finishing off with some storage. You got some overhead storage above Christian there, and a nice comfy seat to sit down and watch the watch the TV, fireplace, have a chat and stuff, or people sitting at the table. So you got a nice little living area for everyone.
Yeah, something that I missed touching on in the kitchen and in here, and we'll go over that in a second. You do have power outlets and plugs everywhere. Mm-hmm. On this particular one, it's on the side over here. That's your CO2 detector at the bottom. Then you have your USB connections, and then you have your plugs, right? Pretty easy, simple. And in the kitchen here, again, sorry, skipped over this. You have them here and here as well. It's just flush underneath.
That's nice, yeah.
On the top here, I have way more headroom in this one. It's really comfortable for me. I don't feel cramped or claustrophobic. You do have the low profile AC, super cool. Again, you don't have it sticking out like this where you can bump your head and if you're 6'6" or something crazy.
Yeah.
Which, good on you. All right. Storage above here over the seating here. You got again nice deep pockets. You're probably gonna keep something. Maybe don't access super frequently. Just nice little more storage here. Maybe bed sheets. I have no idea. AC vents throughout the entire trailer. You got them in the bathroom. You got quite a few in the living room here. You're gonna have as well LED lights throughout the whole trailer, and each of them have their own. You have an overall. You have a switch that turns them all on, and then you have individual buttons on them, which can turn on and off. So you can have one for a night light or something of the sort. So I do like this feature. I'm not a big fan of when it's just one switch for them all. I do like where I can pick and choose which ones want to blind me and which ones don't. So we're going to come on down here into the bedroom. Now this is super cool. I like this. Look how much room is... JC, look at this. Look how comfortable this is.
Yeah, lots of room. Like sometimes you'll see units. There's quite a bit of. It's tight to the wall here, and it's hard to make the bed. But
shuffling like this
yeah, exactly.
Through, right?
Lots of room there, as Christian can point out there. Yeah. And it's got a wardrobe on each side. I have mentioned in the previous video that some are getting away with one wardrobe to create more room, but lots of storage in this Surveyor. It's amazing.
Massive.
And the window makes it nice and bright in here. Windows on both sides and behind.
Still got the blackout blind. Don't worry, guys. You can shut out the lights if you want.
Yeah, and it's got a nice decor. You got some power outlets for your CPAP if you have one.
Both
phones,
sides,
yeah, for your phones. Yeah,
you got them on both sides and in the back as well. But before we get to the back, we'll just kind of show you here in the front. You're gonna have again usual kind of lift here, right? Nice, easy peasy.
Got struts on there to help you hold it up.
Yep, which is super cool.
Lots of storage.
And awesome with this one, motion's light on the inside. I have not seen very many of that.
No, I haven't either.
Especially if you're in the middle of the night, you're out partying, you decide to come in and grab a sweater or something that maybe you left in here. You don't have to take everything out to find it. You can see it just easy enough. Drawers on each side, his and hers, or all hers, totally up to you. Mm-hmm. Right? Or all his. Coming on the back here, which is going to be super cool.
The bar in there to hang some clothes and stuff, which is nice, which will be on both sides. And all the power. We mentioned in the Unmapped, and then being a sister product, they have it in the Surveyor as well. cup holder by the bed so you put your water, or if you're still finishing your beer.
Super cool. And they do have little holes here which you can run wires through if you like to keep a CPAP machine higher up or whatever, your phone or something. So
you could also plug your CPAP in, on the side of the bed and put your phones up there, I think, or whatever works for you.
Lots of plugs in the back. Super, like you can literally do whatever you want.
Behind you, there's some backing and stuff for another TV if you want to add one.
Yeah.
Now, the plugins and everything are there, so
you will see this often, and usually there is going to be a sticker. I use this line all the time. One of the reps told me this, which was pretty funny. Sometimes a sticker fairy at the factory forgets to put on the sticker, but usually there is a backing of some sort. Again, speak to the rep, your salesperson, whatever the case, they can guide you through it. But usually when you see the setup, you do have a option to set up a TV here. You can't put your 75-inch in here. Sorry, it's not going to fit. But you can put something at the very least, which might be nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that pretty much concludes this tour this time. Again, this is Christian and JC,
and this is this 2026 Surveyor Legend 252 RBS.